I'm Ananya Datta and I'm back with another edition of Race to Power. Let's start talking elections. Delhi Chief Minister is going to remain in Enforcement Directorate's custody. We will tell you what happened throughout the day. Also, after Kangana Ranaut, you will hear Bollywood star Govinda's name in our political stories. It is not his political debut, but Sena has declared him the star campaigner. Over to the United Kingdom now. Migration is increasingly becoming a top concern for voters, and the situation is getting only worse. Migrants arriving in the UK in the first 3 months of this year has hit a record high. How will this help shape the vote bank is the question. Starting from Delhi, a special court has extended the ED's custody of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal by 4 days. The Delhi Chief Minister will now remain in ED's custody till April 1st. Earlier today, the Enforcement Directorate had produced Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal before the court, demanding 7-day extension of his custody. In the courtroom, the Delhi Chief Minister was given just a few minutes to speak, in which he levelled some serious accusations against the central agency. The AAP leader said that his name only figured 4 times in the 20,000 pages of the case document, accusing the ED of being used as a political tool by the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party. The Delhi Chief Minister said that the ED had only one mission, which is to quote-unquote trap him. Arvind Kejriwal also suggested through his statements that the government witnesses were coerced. Finally, he went on to allege that the ED and the BJP are running an extortion racket. Additional Solicitor Governor S.V. Raju, appearing before the ED, said that Kejriwal was playing to the gallery. He added that the Delhi Chief Minister has no means of knowing what the probe agency has in its documents. The ED's lawyer said Kejriwal's allegations are all but figment of his own imagination. The central agency has accused Kejriwal of being the key conspirator of the alleged multi-million-dollar scam. The Delhi Chief Minister-led Aam Aadmi Party has called the arrest quote-unquote illegal and politically motivated. Kejriwal challenged the arrest in Delhi High Court. The Chief Minister was arrested last Thursday and has spent a week in custody already. Our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur has been tracking all the developments from the ground. Here's her report.
Legal battles continue to ensue for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in an alleged excise policy scam. Now, we saw 2 different legal battles taking place today. One in the Delhi High Court, where Arvind Kejriwal got relief against a PIL which resorted to asking for the Chief Minister being removed from his official position. However, the court said that this particular case is outside of its judicial ambit. On the other hand, we saw the Chief Minister being presented in the afternoon at a trial court here in New Delhi, where the Enforcement Directorate continued to seek an extension in custody for the Chief Minister. Now, the bench granted a 4-day extension till April 1st, whereby the ED will continue to probe and further question and grill Arvind Kejriwal. Now, how this plays out for the Delhi Chief Minister while he continues to hold his state position? Will somebody else have to replace him should this case go on? Or will he continue to function as a Chief Minister from behind bars and custody? That, of course, is a question for which we await an answer in the coming days. With video journalist Neeraj, this is Dharamjot Kaur for WION World is One.
Just moments ago, Bollywood actor Govinda joined Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena weeks ahead of the Lok Sabha polls. With this, Govinda begins his second innings in politics. He earlier joined the Congress party and won from Mumbai North back in 2004. Govinda joined Shiv Sena in the presence of party chief Eknath Shinde, who said that the actor would be the star campaigner for the party. Govinda said that he has joined the party to work for art, culture and cinema and would accept any responsibility given by the party. It is being speculated that Govinda may contest from the Lok Sabha polls from Mumbai Northwest Lok Sabha seat on Sena's ticket. But Govinda said that it is up to Chief Minister Shinde to take a decision on that front. Shinde underlined that Govinda has not put forth any conditions for joining Sena. He added that the actor has joined the party only by getting impressed with the work done by the government and wished to work for development of the film industry. Asked if Govinda would be given a ticket to contest the upcoming polls, Shinde said that the actor does not want to contest the polls. In 2004, the Bollywood actor had contested the Lok Sabha polls on Congress's ticket, winning with a heavy margin by defeating senior politician Ram Naik. Amid the fervour of India's impending Lok Sabha elections, a noticeable trend has emerged in the country's e-commerce realm: the rise of political merchandise. Drawing parallels to the well-established tradition in the United States and beyond, where election-themed goods have long fascinated enthusiasts, India now finds itself immersed in a similar wave.
India's e-commerce landscape has transformed into a bustling hub for political paraphernalia amidst the election fervour. An assortment of merchandise representing different political parties is now highly sought after online. From dream catchers featuring the BJP's lotus symbol to vintage maritime clocks adorned with the AAP's party logo and Congress's signature dupattas, online platforms boast an extensive range of election-themed products. The trend gained traction during the 2019 polls, turning e-commerce platforms into hotspots for campaign gear and accessories. Some political parties themselves actively participate in selling such merchandise on their websites. For instance, the Namo merchandise website offers a diverse array of products featuring slogans like Modi ka parivar and Modi hai to mumkin hai, splashed across t-shirts, mugs, notebooks, badges, wristbands and more. Reports indicate a surge in online sales of these merchandise during the Lok Sabha elections as suppliers to e-commerce platforms confirm. Moreover, a trend is also emerging with a heightened demand for merchandise representing regional and state parties. These online platforms showcase a varied selection of political items ranging from keychains adorned with party logos to specialty lamps and flags. Meanwhile, sellers in wholesale markets are also catching on to the importance of transitioning goods to e-commerce platforms and adapting to this evolving trend. To stay ahead of the curve, sellers are innovating their products, offering items like clocks featuring party logos and wind catchers adorned with symbols. The surge in political merchandise on e-commerce platforms mirrors the increasing digitization of political campaigning in India. It showcases not only the enthusiasm of supporters but also the evolving dynamics of political engagement leading to the upcoming Lok Sabha elections.
In a tragic turn of events, the Tamil Nadu MP from the city of Erode, A. Ganesh Murthy, has died of cardiac arrest. This after he had attempted suicide earlier this week. He had reportedly consumed pesticide after the MDMK party denied him a ticket to contest in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Ganesh Murthy died of cardiac arrest at a private hospital in Coimbatore city. His body was subsequently transferred to a government hospital in Erode for a post-mortem examination. Ganesh Murthy, who was a prominent figure within the MDMK, previously contested from the Erode parliamentary constituency on the DMK's rising sun symbol during the 2019 general elections, emerging victorious. However, he fell into a state of severe depression after being overlooked by the party for the forthcoming polls. What's noteworthy here is that amid a climate of defections where leaders are often changing parties in pursuit of tickets, Ganesh Murthy remained loyal to his party until the end. MDMK General Secretary addressed reporters after visiting Ganesh Murthy in the hospital, expressing his sorrow. He said that when MDMK functionaries suggested Durai Vaiko's name for the parliamentary election, he did not accept it. So the party had conducted a poll. 99% of the party members wanted Durai Vaiko and Ganesh Murthy to contest in the elections. The MDK was therefore planning to field him in the upcoming assembly elections if he couldn't be fielded in the Lok Sabha polls.
அழைத்து கொண்டு சென்று அறிமுகப்படுத்தினேன். அதன் பிறகு 3 மாதத்துக்கு ஒரு முறை வருவார். டாக்டர் தணிகாசலத்தை பார்த்து
Now in other news, United States is bracing for an anticipated rematch between Joe Biden and Donald Trump for the November presidential elections. And it seems Democrats are toughing up their strategy for the fierce battle. Former President Barack Obama and Bill Clinton are teaming up with the incumbent Joe Biden and are said to be a part of his re-election campaign. Obama and Clinton will join Biden at a fundraiser in New York. Biden's campaign says the fundraiser is raising a whopping $25 million, setting a record for the biggest haul for a political event. Thousands of guests are expected at the Radio City Music Hall, where Biden and the two former commanders-in-chief will take part in a discussion moderated by the Late Show host Stephen Colbert. The participation of former presidents, especially Barack Obama, is expected to improve prospects for Biden among the young voters. Obama is still a popular leader, though Biden did win youth support in 2020. Some of them, along with progressives, are furious of the US's strong backing of Israel amid the ongoing war in Gaza. Obama is now stepping in both publicly and behind the scenes to boost Biden's re-election bid. The former president spent time at the White House recently, marking the anniversary of his signature Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare.
And because he has, more Americans are covered than under any other president, including when I was in office. Now we have a chance to do even more. But that only happens if we send Joe and Kamala back to the White House in November.
Obama has reportedly acknowledged the fact that the battle between Trump and Biden will be a close one and it will require all hands on deck. He has for months been warning Biden to not think that the contest with Trump will be any easy, and has in fact criticized Biden's team of being slow to organize their state-by-state grassroots movement, which worked well for him. Over to United Kingdom now. Rishi Sunak is facing yet another roadblock. The number of migrants arriving in the UK in the first 3 months of 2024 has hit a record high. Over 4,600 asylum seekers arrived in the UK on small boats by the 26th of March. With migration being a major concern for a lot of voters, the recent surge has put the Conservatives on a back foot. The party is already reeling behind the opposition Labour Party in opinion polls. A Home Office spokesperson said that the country is working closely with French police to deter the illegal crossings. The annual number of migrants saw a drop of at least 36% in 2023. The previous record for migrant arrival was set in 2022, with about 4,548 people reaching the country. Last year, that is in 2023, the number was at 3,770. To tackle the issue, Prime Minister Sunak had earlier devised a policy to deport the migrants to Rwanda, a decision after which several MPs issued a no-confidence motion against Sunak. The legislation of the bill also cost Sunak 2 party deputy chairpeople who quit their positions in protest. UK authorities falsely expected the move to restrict people from making the dangerous channel crossing.
Is that I range a range of different concerns that we have in it.
Now, Turkiye is set to hold municipal elections across 81 provinces this Sunday. The polls are important for President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his party, the AK party, as it aims to reclaim cities they lost in 2019. Erdogan's AKP party lost the country's largest city of Istanbul and the capital Ankara to the opposition party CHP. Analysts are seeing the vote as a test of Erdogan's support and the opposition's durability. Incumbent Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu is up for re-election. A tight race is expected in the city between the incumbent mayor and his main challenger, AKP's Murat Kurum. Polls show that Imamoglu leading over his rival by a thin margin. Istanbul is home to more than 16 million people and derives more than a quarter of the nation's GDP. In the last local vote in 2019, the main opposition Republican People's Party, or the CHP, shocked Erdogan when it prevailed in Istanbul and Ankara. Erdogan has campaigned hard for the AKP in recent weeks for the upcoming polls. President Erdogan launched his political career as mayor of Istanbul in the year 1994. Almost 11 million people are eligible to vote in the city.
In 2019, when Erdogan and AK Party lost Istanbul, it was a big blow. And it was a scratch on Erdogan's reputation that he was, up until then, he was unbeatable, invincible. So this is going to be a test for him now, whether he will succeed to get Istanbul back. And if he does so, that means that he will be able to endorse his power.
Controlling big cities like Istanbul and Ankara is important for political parties and their budgets. Controlling big cities means having a say over financing, contracts and job creation, which help parties boost their popularity on the national stage. Istanbul Mayor Imamoglu has emerged as the opposition's main alternative to Erdogan on the national stage. If he wins a second mayoral term, he would very likely run in the next presidential vote. On the other hand, a loss could stunt his career and leave the opposition in further disarray.
So that party is actually a safe option for many pro-government voters who prefer to keep Erdogan in office but are unhappy about some of the policies that his government is pursuing. So if they want to really send a message that they're not happy with the direction of the country, then the local elections have much lower stakes, and they can send this message through this party.
For Erdogan, regaining Istanbul and Ankara would bolster his pursuit of a new constitution. With a new constitution, Erdogan could potentially extend his rule beyond 2028, which marks the end of his current term. Under the existing constitution, the presidency is limited to 2 terms. Erdogan secured a 3rd term last year thanks to a legal loophole resulting from the transition to a presidential system in 2018. Let's shift focus now. Bulgaria is the poorest member of the European Union. It is infamous for its rampant corruption and political instability. After back and forth for the past few months, the country is now heading towards snap elections. This will be Bulgaria's 6th snap general election in 3 years. After 2 other parties rejected to form the government, the ITN party has also declined to take the top seat. Let's give you a little bit of background here. Bulgaria has had a complex coalition government. 9 months ago, GERB and CCDB decided to join hands. Until then, they were fierce opponents. But they decided to set aside their differences and agree on rotational governance. Now, the deal was that the CCDB will head the government for the first 9 months, then GERB will take over for another 9 months. But as the 2 parties were supposed to switch positions, the alliance fell. The 2 parties have had a tough time being on the same page. The only party that is willing to form a government with the CCDB is far-right pro-Russian Vazrazdan. The only person constant in Bulgaria's politics is its president. Rumen Radev has been the president of Bulgaria since the year 2017. Radev has some big decisions to take now. He first needs to seek a caretaker prime minister, after which a cabinet will organize snap elections. The political crisis comes at a time when European Union Parliament is going to hold elections this June. In Venezuela now, the presidential election is set to take place for the first time since 2018. But the opposition, who were wrestling to define a unity candidate, they have managed to register a candidate after its first 2 nominees were blocked. The unitary platform says that it was able to inscribe ex-diplomat Edmundo Gonzalez after the deadline for registrations was extended. The alliance says that Gonzalez is their provisional candidate, hinting that he may be replaced before the election. Another politician who was successful in registering was Manuel Rosales. Presidential hopeful Rosales says that he is willing to hand over his place on the ballot to a unity candidate. Amid uncertainty over who will carry the opposition's banner in the July contest against President Nicolas Maduro, the opposition has until April 20th to make changes to their presidential ticket. Until the deadline, the opposition can hold internal negotiations about whether to back one of the registered candidates or name alternatives. Whoever is chosen by the opposition, that candidate will take on current President Nicolas Maduro, who has been in power since 2013.
El país está procesando.
Now, Senegal is one of the few countries in Africa that hasn't seen a coup, and the country now is on course to uphold its democratic standards. Official data suggests that Bassirou Diomaye Faye has won over 54% of the votes. Many are equating Faye's win with a win for Senegal's democracy. Just a few months ago, Faye was sitting in prison and the incumbent president cancelled national elections. Fortunately, this is where Senegal stands today. Vote tallies from 100% polling stations are out. Faye has received the majority of the votes and the man is the youngest president in Senegal's history.
The Senegalese people have chosen to break with the past, to give substance to the immense hopes raised by our vision of society. I pledge to govern with humility and transparency and to fight corruption at all levels.
Senegal has seen 3 years of political turbulence. Anti-government protests and killings became rampant. So this peaceful transition of power has resonated well among the young voters. Remember, 60% of people are under 25 in Senegal. The country is witnessing a 20% unemployment rate. Economic and societal issues are rife. But people are hopeful that a change in guard will bring change on the ground. And with that, we are wrapping up this edition of Race to Power. Thanks for watching with me, Ananya Datta. Goodbye.
Economic turmoil and global unrest have cast a shadow over President Joe Biden's approval ratings.
The rockets are continuing to be fired by Hamas in Gaza, although